What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host for today, Roger Picorni, also known as @RogerFormer on the internet, also known as the person that just realized I had a bunch of camera peripherals and I didn't use them ever, so now I'm using them. Of course, this is This Week the show where I have a really cool intro and I talk about something or things that I did this week. Donald Trump won the New York election thing. So did Hillary Clinton. I don't, whatever, life is meaningless. So this week, I watched Kimmy Schmidt and I read a comic book. Yay! Two things I never talked about before. So let's talk about the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. If you don't know anything about this show, boy oh boy, are you living under a rock, because this show was fantastic and has been a cultural phenomenon on the interwebs since last season. This show is created by Tina Fey and someone else that I forget his name. Sorry, other person. I absolutely love 30 Rock. I think that show is fantastic. I had an emotional bond to it, and it's something that a lot of people, they talk about The Office, right? They talk about Parks and Rec, shows that they had an emotional connection with. Those shows never did it for me, right? No matter how much I watched it, didn't really love them. But 30 Rock was that for me. It was short, it was bite-sized, it had these amazing characters. Liz Lemon is up there as one of my favorite characters in anything. She is the embodiment of every human person's awkward side. When that show ended, I missed her relationship with Jack Donaghy. I missed her relationship with Tracy Morgan. These are things that I constantly miss, and I watch the show here and there. Rewatching it, it is my comfort show. So when the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt was announced to be coming to Netflix, I was a little bit skeptical, but the show looked bright. I realized it was made by Tina Fey. I was like, okay, let's see how it is. And boy oh boy, did that show fill the void in my heart that 30 Rock left when it ended. It's fun, it's bright, it's different. It's an amazing satire of living in New York and how annoying people are and how everyone seems to have a chip on their shoulder. Kimmy Schmidt is a person that comes after a really horrible cult experience coming out of her bunker, and she is really, really positive and she wants different things. She is happy. She is living in crappy conditions, but she is happy as hell. The show is constantly funny. It's smart. It's inventive. An amazing show, and I think that it is something that is so easy to pick up and put down because it is only 30 minutes. It is something that isn't necessarily crazy serialized. I feel like some people forget about the show because it is so pick up and go. Season 2 came up and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I love that show a lot. So let me give it a try again, and oh my gosh, I love the show even more. It made me realize how much I adore all these characters. I love Titus. I love Kimmy Schmidt. I love her kind of boyfriend, Dong, who's this amazing character who's trying to stay in the country and fake a visa marriage relationship, which is just absolutely fantastic. There's some great comedy here, and season 2 just takes all those themes that they brought in season 1 and amplifies them to 100. They're focusing on gentrification of New York. The crappy towns in New York are being overrun by hipsters. They also deal with some very deep and emotional topics, but are dealt in very amazing ways, in ways that only Tina Fey can bring to you. It talks about how Kimmy Schmidt really deals with some horrible demons on the inside and she represses it. She keeps it on the inside, and it's not healthy. And they deal with that in a very funny way, but also a very serious way, showing that therapy isn't something that kind of just happens and you move on with your life. There is a stigma attached to it. It is kind of hard to find help, you know? It's hard. It isn't overly serious. It isn't overly saying, hey, everybody, if you have problems, go to therapy. But it's interesting, and it tells a message, and it has something to it. So yeah, show is fantastic. I know that it's very vague and up in the air, but I think that's what the show is. I recommend it to everyone because it is so simple. It's something that everyone should pick up. It does look very corny in its promotional images, but the show's fantastic. It's fun. It's great. And it's just a good time if you just want to sit back and Netflix and chill, as the kids say. Ha 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 ha. I'm so lonely. And the other thing I did is that I read The Vision. Now, The Vision is a comic book that Caleb Saitnam recommended to me, written by Tom King. I'm in love with this comic book series. I think it is absolutely fantastic, and it deals with some amazing issues. What is it about? It's about The Vision, the character that you probably know from Age of Ultron, who is this synth robot thing, comes and he's like, hey, you know what? I need a family. I want a family. So I'm going to build a family. And he does. He builds 2 twins, a daughter, a son, and also he builds a wife. They all live in a of house in suburbia near Washington, D.C., and they have a good old time. It shows how synths and people that want to be human beings act, and how they would act to extraneous ideas, how they act to the outside world hating them. There's clear racially charged motives with this comic book. They really are trying to kind of show a parallel between America nowadays and how people are treating these robots. Interesting stuff. I love this comic book so much. I don't want to say too much about it. I'm keeping it purposely vague with this one because I want you guys to experience it on your own. Amazing writing. And the writing is told in a very interesting perspective that I think is going to be super cool to anyone that picks it up. If you just read the first few pages of it, you'll notice something is very different here. It reminds me a lot of Stepford Wives. Fantastic stuff. Really creepy, eerie. I can't wait to see where it goes. What did you guys do this week? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Tweet at me at RajFormer. All that jazz. RajFormer.com. Bye-bye.